Somewhere in Tokyo between a traffic collision, a soul searches for a dead body to take over it. Akito Izuko is one of the victims of the traffic accident. As the soul enters his body, he finds out that Akito is not dead when Akito rises from the ground with a broken face. A little later, the people surrounding him are swallowed by a thick fog, but Akito survives, thanks to the powers of the soul that reside in his body now. The soul demands Akito to give up his body to him, but Akito resists. A group of ghosts is seen walking towards Akito, and he takes cover. This is when a mysterious figure in a Hanny mask appears on the large screens on the buildings, promising salvation and redemption to the lost souls. As the group of ghosts passes Akito, he realizes that he has to visit his sister who is admitted in a hospital. But the soul inside his body tries to kill him in order to take full control over Akito's body. Akito manages to fight him for now, and they both decide to stick together for the time being. The soul gives new powers to Akito through which he can fight the ghost that has taken over the town. As he makes his way towards his sister in the hospital, he faces the mysterious figure from the large screens earlier, standing beside his sister in her room. He talks about his sister Mari's special ability to be connected to the ghost's world while still being alive and decides to take her with him. Akito tries to stop him, but the masked man kills him in a heartbeat, and takes his sister with him to an unknown place to perform a ritual. Akito wakes up in a field full of flowers, where he meets the soul inside his body. He introduces himself as KK, and they come to an agreement that Akito would give his body to KK, and in return KK would save his sister after Akito dies. As KK takes over his body, Akito awakes in the human world once again. Turns out that Akito was able to come back from the dead because of the soul inside his body, and they both now share the same body together. KK wants his revenge from the masked man while Akito wants to save his sister. Hence both of them decide to go after him to achieve their objectives. KK leads Akito to his safe house first, where Akito equips himself with a bow which belonged to KK while he was still alive. It is revealed that KK has been after the mysterious man for a long time, and he has lost many of his friends to him as well. While Akito is still in the building, they are struck by a barrier created by one of the masked figures. Akito somehow manages to break the barrier and head outside to go after the one which created it. To search for the masked man, KK asks Akito to head towards Tokurage deck, where he can use the binoculars to have a look at the entire city. Once Akito reaches the deck, he is faced with a powerful woman ghost who tries to stop him, but he manages to defeat her with the help of talismans, a spell that traps the enemies in one place. After that, Akito uses the binoculars and finds the masked man entering the city's subway, and decides to go after him. Upon reaching the subway, Akito decides to go further below to the lower levels in pursuit of the masked man. There he finds a huge underground facility that has been under the use of the masked figures. Akito also walks past a pit from which several bodies are being lifted upwards. Soon he is confronted by the masked man. He transforms into a beast, and Akito engages in a fight against him. He manages to defeat it as he turns back into his original form. His mask slips and KK is shocked to see that the person they have been fighting is himself. It is revealed that the man in the Hanny mask has used KK's body to make this fighter for him. Upon learning this, KK decides to come out of Akito and moves forward to retrieve back his body, but the evil spirit traps KK in a spirit box and disappears. Akito falls down and experiences a dream where his sister is complaining to him about not remembering their parents' death dates, and Akito wakes up in frustration. Upon waking up, he realizes that KK is no longer in him and he has lost all his powers. He makes his way towards KK's apartment and hopes to find him there. Once he reaches KK's apartment, he finds a woman's soul from KK's old crew sitting on his chair. Her name is Rinko, and she informs Akito that he is still connected to KK and disappears after leaving a wallet at his desk. As Akito opens the wallet, he finds the woman's picture with a child in it. Supposedly she was KK's wife and that's his child. Akito notices a trail of black fog and believes that this fog is leading him towards KK, so he decides to follow it. He is led to a shrine where he rescues KK and he re-enters Akito's body so they can continue their search for the Hanny masked figure. As they step out of the shrine, they notice a ray of golden light cutting through the sky. KK believes that the ritual has been started and Akito rushes towards the golden light. On his way, Akito is stuck inside a barrier and he has to destroy the ether elements to break the barrier. After breaking the barrier, KK starts to get suspicious of Rinko. They decide to investigate Rinko, and after finding a note written to Erika, another crew member, they learn that Rinko wanted Erika to meet her at an apartment, so Akito makes his way to the mentioned apartment. At the apartment, Akito uses his vision to see the past and learns that a masked woman has taken over Rinko's form and she was the one leading Akito all this time. Akito soon confronts her in the apartment. She reveals her true self and makes a run for it. During the chase, Rinko's spirit fights back and she tries to hold the masked woman so that Akito can get to her. Akito reaches Rinko and frees her from the masked woman. The masked woman manages to disappear, while Rinko transfers her spirit into a nearby phone booth. She informs the real location of the source of the fog, and Akito makes his way towards the wayside shrine where the ritual is about to be performed. He enters a cave and upon reaching deep inside it, Akito finally comes across Hanya, the mastermind behind all this madness. KK reveals that Hanya is collecting human souls so that he can connect the human world with the world of the dead. He is doing it to bring back the soul of his dead wife into this world. This is when Hanya's wife and daughter appear behind them soulless. It turns out that Hanya has taken the soul out of even his daughter's body to perform the ritual and instead turn her and his dead wife's body into living puppets for him. He orders his daughter to fight Akito while he performs the rest of the ritual. She turns into a monster and Akito engages in a battle once more. During the battle, Komote, Hanya's daughter, takes out KK from Akito's body, making Akito fight her with his human abilities only. After an intense battle, Akito manages to defeat her and takes back KK in his body. As he runs towards Hanya to stop him from completing the ritual, he gets blown away by his energy and Hanya forms several giants using human souls. As Akito turns around to exit the cave, he is again faced with Hanya's daughter, but KK extracts the charm which was used to turn her body into a puppet and she fades away. After this, KK leads Akito to a basement where they find a bike that Rinko built which can pass through the spirit fog and help Akito get to the tower where the ritual's final step is being performed. But first Akito needs to gather some parts to get the bike running again. He travels to the underworld to get the underworld oil for the bike after fighting a strong spirit in a shrine. After that he makes his way towards a car show where they take the turbine wheel out of a fancy car. With the bike finally ready, Akito makes his way towards the tower. On his way he is attacked by another masked puppet who tries to stop him. Although Akito manages to beat him, his bike is destroyed in the process. He manages to reach the tower, but before he gets to Hanya, he faces his wife Annika. She transforms into a spider-like monster and fights Akito. After defeating her, KK extracts her puppet charm as well and her body turns into ashes and disappears in the air. Akito makes his way to the top of the tower, where he finds Hanya performing the final step of the ritual on Mari. He creates a barrier so Akito cannot stop him and he tries to persuade Akito to let Mari go and live in an eternal world without the fear of death. This messes with Akito's head, but KK manages to put him back in his senses as Hanya escapes with Mari's body into the mouth of the giant. Before Akito and KK could go after him, they are again faced with KK's puppet. He transforms into a lion-like beast and after a great battle, Akito and KK finally manage to beat him and extract his puppet charm. After this Akito jumps into the spirit's mouth to save his sister. Once inside the giant spirit, Akito relives his past memories, from Mari's birth to the death of his parents. He eventually gets on top of a mountain and enters a gate, where he finds Hanya using Mari to open the portal to the underworld. He successfully manages to open the portal, but Mari elevates herself in the sky and throws Hanya into the portal which he created. Mari reveals that when their house was falling apart, she went back inside to get the ring which belonged to her mother as it was the only memory she had of her. She hands it over to Akito and asks him to live a good life after all this is over. Akito apologizes to her for not opening to her before and mourns her death. This is when Hanya rises from the portal of underworld and fuses with the spirits of his wife and daughter to transform into a worm monster. Akito engages in his final battle and with the support of KK he defeats Hanya. This liberates the spirits that he has captured and everyone returns to their physical bodies on Earth. As Akito is saying his final goodbyes to Mari, his parents appear to take Mari with them. Akito tells them that he remembers their death dates and he never forgets about them. He then promises them to live a fulfilling life and begins climbing the stairs to exit. KK tells him he is tired and no longer wants to live in a body. As he leaves Akito's body, he asks him to tell his wife and son that he never gave up and succeeded in his objective. The story ends with KK merging himself with the photograph of his family inside the wallet. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe for more epic videos. We will see you at the next one.